But we got to quit yelling at each other. We have to sit down at some point and rationally talk about reality. The reality of this.
What is the reality?
The reality is this is somebody else's property, and they let you live here for a long period of time, and now they're asking for their property back to do something different with it. That's the reality of this. So, in order to work with the homeless population out here and try to respect their privacy and stuff, we still have to retrieve stuff, weight from this area.
Yeah.
So, what I've decided to do, since the landowner wants everything cleared, is like, hey, let's clear brush. That way we give more time to these individuals to figure out what's going on and what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I picked this area right here because there's nothing here. One person did try to come back in, and we took all this stuff and put it over there, covered up with a tarp and everything, which was better than what they had. But
I see that.
Still.
Yeah.
But over here, you can see the trash that they're pulling out from underneath the berry bushes because it's been out here so long.
Let me take a look. Yeah.
It's just extended out. This was all the way over to here. This was solid trash. So now we're getting into the brush that was behind it and stuff. But, you know, this is a non-offensive way of staying away from the homeless camp, but still doing our mission. You know, okay, everything's in turmoil right here, so we're going to take a side step. We're going to just start working with the vegetation. Now I got campers here that are telling me they're not okay with me clearing the vegetation, even though it's not even near their camp.
And we're talking like, where's the nearest camp for where the machinery is right now? I'm looking around. There's one like right over there.
One way back in the woods.
Yeah.
Then you have the picnic area, but that's actually not really in our area.
Yeah.
You have camps back here, and you have camps over there. None of which we're affecting.
Okay.
Basically,
I did. So I walked up when you guys were kind of having a back and forth, an exchange of dialogue, shall we say, and
I don't like to be threatened.
So the contention was that the berry bushes are providing
food,
but also because who doesn't love a good blackberry, right?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, but also what's the word I'm looking for?
Vegetation.
Not shade, not cover, but like
it's. I guess they feel like it might be cover, so you can't see back there.
Right, that's right.
But
That's
this has already been cleared.
It's like a privacy screen.
This has already been cleared so we could see back there.
Yeah.
Because with the protesters and everything, I wanted everybody to have a clear vision of what was going back here. So I figured after the protest, we'll take another non-evasive stance and we'll just clean out all the brush. You know, eventually this is what's going to happen to this law. It's going to probably be reworked into housing or something to that effect.
Are you, because I have heard whispers about that. Is there a plan that you know of in at least in discussion right now, maybe?
No, all they tell me is go clean, and they hired New Directions because we're the best non-confrontational group that there's out there. If you hire a contractor out there, they're going to insist all homeless be taken out.
Immediately.
Me, I'll work around people, you know, because these are real people.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't understand that.
So, the homelessness advocate here on scene was sort of presenting the point of view that the bushes, like the people who have been living out here, feel protected by the amount of bushes, right? And so that's part of their security. And I know we've talked about this before, that they feel they're threatened. They feel that they have nowhere to go. And that is probably a reality, right? There is.
Well, since day one out here, I've been actually working with the city government and everything and law enforcement to try to find a suitable place. My whole idea of dragging my feet for the last couple of months is so we could actually get some plans laid out. So these individuals are, if they're displaced or will be displaced, they have a place to go.
So what does that look like? Like, how do you get that in motion? Have you been like talking to city council or
Been
what?
talking to city council, city staff, the property owner that I'd like to set it up with. We've been in contact with just about everybody trying to do it. We're getting closer, but you know, once again, that location is the hardest part to find.
Yeah.
You know.
And I know you were kind of referencing the neighboring lot here as being an ideal location, and you were reaching out to that property owner. Can you speak to that more?
Well, that property owner wants us to maintain his building and his property, which the homeless have broken into and stuff. I was just thinking a good trade-off is I would pay for the cleanup, all the trash and all that stuff, if he would allow us to use the blacktop area, so we can transition people over there. With winter coming, I think it's the best. They're not going to be in the mud and everything. But my hopes is we can generate the nonprofits and stuff to actually really start doing something. Maybe the county can come down, provide that housing. They have a lock on the Danco building over at Valley West where there's rooms, you know, and they are the ones that pick people in. Why can't they come to a place, meet with these individuals and put them in a room if they choose? You know, some of these people are insisting they like to live outside, and God bless them. I hope they find that place. But I can't provide that. I can only do so much. I provide employment for the homeless. And these are the areas that we get chosen for because we're the only ones willing to come in and work with the homeless that are here.
And so there is a push come to shove, right? And the
eventually
berry bushes,
they will come. When I'm not able to pull anything else out of here,
yeah,
except for the camps, then somebody's going to want to push, and I'm fighting real hard to get things in place before that. The problem is we, you know, there's places where we could actually talk about that. Like last night, I was going to go before City Council and ask them to put this on the agenda so we could actually talk about solutions.
Did you have an opportunity to do that?
No, I didn't get an opportunity to basically even say my name.
I heard the council meeting was a little bit rough.
It was rough to where they just let everybody speak, and my God, how do you think these people are going to listen to him if you call them every name in the book? You know, I went to school for this. As soon as you start calling me names and yelling at me, it shuts off.
Right.
You know, they quit listening. And that's what we have to do is we have to get them to listen. We have to get them to start feeling.
The city council or who?
Just everybody in general. I think everybody has feelings. The reason why I came back to Arcata is because I thought that I stood a chance to change the way they were dealing with homeless services. And I still feel that way. This little fiasco might have actually cemented that in now. Because I don't run. I'm not okay with this. I'm doing everything I can to fight, and nobody wants to have the time. They just want to ridicule me. And that's okay. I got big shoulders. Well, kind of. I'm old now.
So when you say you don't like being threatened, right? Nobody does.
Well,
how do you feel threatened?
The homeless advocate that is here basically said if I continue to do this, the people here were going to have problems. They were going to probably notify the protesters, and then there was going to be an incident. That's a threat. And because everything's been going really peaceful, haven't done anything wrong once again, to say something to me with my heart is going out to these individuals. If I wasn't the person I was, I would take a real bad approach to this now. But it's one person. She has her feelings and her opinions, and that's totally fine. But you can't interfere with my work. I'm doing the best I can to make sure everybody's happy. And they let me continue to call the shots here.
So in regard to some of the campers out here, some of the people who do consider themselves residents, they're feeling very much under pressure, and a lot of them, I just wandered back there and spoke with a few people. A lot of them are unhappy about, an example, the bushes coming down. They're unhappy about the general, the push, right, to get them out of here, not knowing where to go. They feel panicked. They also just feel like they're connected to this spot after so long, right? And
I agree.
Yeah.
They've been out here a lot longer than they possibly should have been, but that's okay. You know, we do have to respect that. That's why I'm the one that's calling the shots. That's why I'm the one that's saying, wait, we have to do this. We got all this out of the way. Now we have to kind of work. Maybe what the protesters should be doing is organizing all these individuals so we could have a team meeting. All these people are important. They all have views. That's a good thing. Why don't we put that all together and come up with solutions? If these are the people that are offended, then they're the people that should create the solution. And I'm all for them. I'm right there with them. I'll come to their meeting. I will listen. I'm not going to try to change their minds, but you've got to have the idea that this is privately owned property. And right now, I'm fighting for these guys' survival. I'm doing the cleanup here. I volunteered to take on this job where nobody else wanted to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, I anticipated all this.
Yeah.
Because this has been here for 17 years that I know of. I anticipated this when we started working here. That's why my strategic plan is always, we start working where the camps aren't. Let them come out and talk to us. Let's go back there and talk with them. Let them know what's happening. Everything has been truthful from day one when we first went and said, hey, you guys are okay as long as you bring out trash so we can haul it away.
Yeah.
You're fine.
And have they been doing that?
At first they did. For the first month or month and a half, I had buy-in from everybody who was helping us, and everything was good. We were all getting along, and and then things came a little bit tighter the second month.
Pressure sets in.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm still jockeying around, knowing I'm getting closer to these camps and trying to find a solution before I get to these camps. Because if I don't clean these camps, somebody else will. I could back out after all this. That's going to be far worse than me staying. That's why I won't do that to these individuals. I don't care about protesters. I don't care about anybody else. These individuals, if I was to pull out of here, I'm not sure what was going to happen. And that's why I'm staying here, because we're trying to fight to try to find something different.
Yeah.
A triage area in these cases is imperative. Have a place where we can transition people to so they can get their feet under it. They've just had years of their lives wiped out. I mean, whether it's all garbage or not, it's immaterial. They've been living here for a while. So now we're going to have to give them a just period. Some people found out there might be money in relocating these individuals. So they come up with these crazy ideas of where to relocate them to. Me, you have to create them in a place where you know you're going to have some hiccups. You're going to have some mistakes. We don't want law enforcement there. We want to deal with it. It's going to take an adjustment period for a lot of these individuals. And I know that. I'm not silly. I've been doing this for 30 years. But time is clicking. They're on top of me. Hey, why don't you have this cleared yet? Because they're human beings. And everybody's listening.
So are you saying that you're advocating on their behalf as you go through this process?
To get a transitional area. From day one, we need an exit plan. If these guys are going to be moved and exited, we have to have a place for them to go. Day one. I've said that to everybody. Now it's just starting to click in. Hey, we need that. So now they're talking to people, and unfortunately, if a nonprofit gets it, it won't be run right. We need to create a place to where these individuals, what they do inside their tent, is what they do inside their tent. The only problem is if you come out of that tent and cause a commotion in the community, then we have a problem. But because they have to feel that you're not under lock and key. These guys are used to just being out here, just doing whatever they want. It's going to take a while for them to understand, okay, wait, people are going to come back and really going to help me this time.
Right.
I think a lot of people...
And they've been let down so many times.
Oh my goodness, how many people, I have so many vets I've worked with that, after you get to know them for a while, they'll say, I really do want housing. I'm just tired of getting turned down. And that's what happens. They get turned down.
People be on waiting lists for years.
Yeah, it's not fair to these people out here. We have to have that location where they can move to. Or else this is totally stupid.
So as an example, earlier I was speaking with Solid, right?
Yeah.
Solid says that for a minute, you guys were steering clear of his spot. You weren't really in his space. And then he says there was some encroachment. So he expressed some serious dissatisfaction with that. And
I don't even know where Solid's camp is, so you'd have to enlighten me. If it's the picnic area?
Yeah, it's behind the picnic area.
The picnic area.
It's way back there. He said it's like in a swamp zone.
The picnic area is somebody's personal property.
Right.
It's been here since day one that we worked.
Yeah.
I have no entitlement to any of that stuff, to take it and put it in trash or anything. That's personal property. They sit out there, they talk out there.
Yeah.
That's not what we're here for.
Right.
I don't know what encroachment, because really we haven't done much on that side except for right here. And that's about it. So I apologize, and if he comes out and talks to me, because I've talked to him many times, he's never even said anything to me. But, you know, all you would have to say, this part is the part that's crazy, is because there's nothing here. And what I'm doing is stalling. Not really. Really, guys, I'm not stalling. I'm doing work. The work that you guys wanted. But
See, the work is happening. And, you know, the work is happening, but also under the objection of people who are living kind of deeper back in there, right? So there is a little bit push come to shove right now, you know, and you had
we're working pretty close to 100 to 200 yards away from any camp. That's the best I could do. I still got to work.
And so when the other thing they were mentioning is the clearing of the trees that were up at the front of the property, some of that. Can you talk about why that?
They're mostly bushes. If you go up and look at them and stuff, they were bushes. And we were told that they want clear visibility and stuff, so that's what we did.
Who told?
Property owner.
Property owner.
The property owner wants to come in and mow all this down. And
so you're taking direction from the property owner, right? And the property owner has said clear it, including what? Including
berry
all the
vines, all the brush, because they have to send mowers in, and what they're scared of is mowers running over top of stuff, like stuff was pulled out of there.
Yeah.
There's so much trash. If he tries to run a mower over that, it's going to be munch on the blades. But that's why we picked this area. It's like everybody's back there, everybody's over there. So it's like we're trying to be the least intrusive as possible and still get work done.
And
so everybody's happy with us.
Right, but if the activists, if the advocates for the homeless community had their way, you would be clearing none of it, probably?
All they have to do is go to court and get a stay. All they have to do is go to court, get a stay order, come out, serve me, and I can't work anymore. I give it to the landowners and they go, oh, you can't work anymore until we get this cleared up. Understand? There's ways to do this the right way. You know, people keep on hating on me, but its truth is, step back and look at me. Look at what I'm doing.
And shut that fucking excavator.
To do what? Pulling berry bushes out?
So
that's what I'm asking, yeah.
So the property
Look at the
owner,
stuff we're pulling out of it.
Yeah, well,
Stuff that's been buried for years.
I know.
Things have grown up
This
through
is
it.
what people.
One more day. Then what's one more day?
$1,000 per person.
I don't
Tell-
have that.
Tell.
I'm sorry.
Hey Wes, do me a favor. Tell Ken these little bunches right here.
Yeah.
I want those gone. And the thistles, most of everything. Those suckers hurt.
yeah. So the property owner is
right, I gotta
saying, okay.
We're fine out here.
I will be in touch.
Yeah. Let me know if you get that appointment with Kimley.
I will try to make that happen ASAP.
Do it quicker than anything. You know, I like to share knowledge. I like to educate. There's ways of doing things the correct way.
I think they feel really insecure. It's almost like you've, like, you know, like they've been, you know, feeling safe behind the curtain, right? And now the curtain's being pulled back.
Yeah, unfortunately, the curtain's going to be pulled back. This area has become the #1 project for everybody. Everything was coasting around and nobody had any problem. And then the protests started and now everybody's like, and hear me, I'm caught in the middle. It's like, I just want to do the job and I'm trying to figure out how to do this because I want my service center back in Arcata, what they call the annex, like extra storage. Used to be the North Coast Resource Center, where homeless came in. You see low levels of anxiety and depression diminish. You've seen people sit at a table and break bread together. You've seen them take showers and use head lice medicine. You've seen them shower and do clothing. They had mail service, phone service, and best of all, if they wanted to volunteer inside, they got stuff at the end of the day to take home. And this is the way we work. We had a food box distribution, and I used to fight with the woman, Ann Holcomb, at Food for People, because she said, you just can't give food to homeless people and stuff. And I said, yes, I can. And I'm going to. So we had food box distribution for the house community and food box distribution for the homeless population. And we curtailed our boxes to where the homeless didn't have to start fires and stuff. They had pre-made food and yogurts and nourishing stuff. Not just garbage and pasta and a can of refried beans and stuff. But yeah, it's tough, and I'm never going to get thanked, I guess. Somebody's always going to dislike something I do. The government doesn't like because I'm not moving fast enough. The homeless population don't like me because I am moving too fast. And it's like trying to find that happy medium was okay for a while, but eventually the end result is something's going to have to happen. And if it's not me, it goes back to the old version. And the old version is when they did do the sweeps, when they came in and gave you, 3 hours to move all your stuff. In Eureka, I started in 2012 and 2013. Officers gave you 15 minutes to get your stuff. And they sliced up your tents.
Yeah.
That quickly stopped because I was there. And I stopped them from doing that anymore because that's not okay.
Would you call that type of treatment inhumane?
Yes, absolutely. This is all these people got. To go into their camp and slice up anything is bad. I'll just say that.
So humor me with this. How is it different to using language that the activists might say? How is it different to oust people versus slicing a tent and kicking them out right away? Like the way that you're doing it here over a course of time, where you're trying to get compliance.
2 months. We just went into our 3rd month working out here.
When the ultimate result is the same, right?
Yeah, only with us doing it, they allowed us the expertise of going in and do what you have to do, and then we'll worry about the camps after that. And everybody, including law enforcement, is okay with that. And that's because they have faith that I'm going to be unbiased and do things the right way. Mm-hmm. I am a homeless advocate. If I had my way and I had $1 million, people would hate me because of the things I would start for the homeless population. Governed, regulated and everything, but still nobody wants it in their backyard.
Yeah.
But if you have enough money, you can do that. Right now, I'm begging for the opportunity. Let me have my center back. Let us show what New Directions can do. People don't even remember back to 2010, 2011. We took care of all the events at the plaza. My homeless crews that we organized, 20, 25. I think the Oyster Festival, we had 45 homeless people working in shifts. Going out there, trash, recycling, setup, breakdown. It's like the things that are possible when you provide a place for the homeless to actually feel like people. Look what New Directions has accomplished. I only hire the homeless. I will not hire somebody that isn't homeless because the homeless population have the hardest time finding jobs. So, what have we been done? The part that we've missed is that unseen workforce that we never counted on, that we didn't see. These guys, they don't care what they do. They're happy to be working. They're happy to be making money. They're happy to try to regain their lives. And for that, people start offering us things like my 2 new people. Hey, we think we might have an apartment for them. Okay, thank you. Well, can't be too bad. They work for you. To me, that's the biggest honor that I can have. Getting my other guys into their house. Mm-hmm. The landlord, we did work for them. Mm-hmm. They talked to us about the program. They liked us so much. My guys are still living in there 6 years later. And the neighbor loves us. All neighbors love us because we help them out too. It's what you can do, but we got to quit yelling at each other. We have to sit down at some point and rationally talk about reality. The reality of this.
What is the reality?
The reality is this is somebody else's property, and they let you live here for a long period of time, and now they're asking for their property back to do something different with it. That's the reality of this.
Yeah.
Now, my reality is that I have a lot of people who have been out here for a long period of time. We have to find some place to do. I'm willing to take that on. And I'm not a housing specialist. I'm nothing. But you know what? There's got to be somebody like me to take it on. to create this. And that's what I'm going to do. I am so sorry she took that offense, because we had been having great conversations and laughing and stuff.
Yeah.
But I can't take orders from the people out here. I can try to work with them, and after today I'll call the landowner and let them know about all this. But today, I got to get my work done. If not, these guys all go home now. And their paychecks look like this. And that's not good for their new rents. Dorman just moved into a place taking care of another vet. The other guys, they pay rent. Him and his daughter pay rent. My new guys, hopefully they will start soon paying rent.
Mm-hmm.
So, stopping work is not okay. Because they're not doing anything wrong. And I'm sorry if they feel taking down the brush is wrong. I mean, I can't do anything about that. Because, once again, my fear is if I pull out, then they're going to have somebody else come in that's not going to be like that.
Like, the alternative might have been Lear Asset Management, right?
Ooh.
Lear Asset Management, they had hired them in other parts on the Great Redwood Trail to do...
Yeah, I don't think they like them. That's why they didn't get rehired.
That's right. That's right.
No, they came out and met with me, and actually, like I said, the railroad is thinking about sending me to Mendocino to kind of work with the other group that they hired to kind of work like we do. I mean, they spent the day with us out here, seeing what we did, engage with the homeless and stuff. And they just said, well, this is what we want, non-confrontational. And that's what I do most of the time.
Yeah.
Unless you confront me, like the guy that came at me with the pickaxe. I didn't do anything except for, that was day one. I went down there and was taking pictures. It wasn't even pictures of his camp. He just knew me because back when I worked for Caltrans, I had to chase him out from under a couple bridges. Because Caltrans was sitting there going, get them out of there.
Right. So it's a controversial job.
Yeah, and I always knew it would be. Even when I ran the center. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I drew the homeless there. I go, that's what you wanted. You want me to draw the homeless because they stick here with me. And then we go out and do productive things.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you get back to work. Do you want to, any other thoughts? I know that she, the activist who was just here with us, she had mentioned trying to organize a meeting between you
and one of the council
and
members.
one of the city council members. Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I'm willing to sit down at the table and talk with anybody that wants to talk. Communicate. It's a big skill. We can't be yelling and calling each other names. There's no place for that. We have to work fast. Now, especially since, they don't want me to cut brush, I have to go back to the landowner and go, they don't want me to cut brush. They don't want me to touch their camps. What do you think they're going to say?
Right. What do you think they're going to say? I want to know what are they going to say? You know what
Well,
they'll say.
John, they got to move. And I'm going, okay, I'll go back and talk with them one more time and see if any of them want to move yet.
Yeah.
And then at least we can clean that camp. I can't force these. I have no power to force these people out, and I don't want to.
And then ultimately, if that fails...
But I have no power to let them stay either.
Right. So ultimately, if that falls through, is it the property owner who calls the police?
Yeah, it would be the property owner because the trespassing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, no,
But you do have some influence over that.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, right now everybody's waiting for me. And I'm sitting there going, hey, we got a lot more work to do yet. Because we do.
Yes. Yeah, it is expansive and...
This guy is paying me by the hour to be out here, which pays these guys' salary. Not salary, but hourly wage. But, I have to do something or else I have to say, oh, I can't do anything anymore. These are the reasons. What they do at that level, it's out of my hand at that point. See, right now it's in my hands, but as soon as I tell them there's nothing else I can do, then it's not going to be in my hands anymore.
And is it the Great Redwood Trail Agency that owns this property?
No.
Where does their section...
Theirs is the railroad tracks and 15 yards or 15 feet
right,
on
either
each side of the
railroad
railroad tracks.
Okay.
This place over here is a little bit different because you have two sets of railroad tracks.
Right.
So there's like a 10-foot or 15 foot in between the railroad tracks,
Yeah.
then you'd go another 15 feet on the outside of that.
Right.
Most of those camps are right in the right of way, but we left them and just picked up the piles that were on the
Okay.
the tracks.
Yeah. So then the property owner, is he concerned about this now because of the Great Redwood Trail, or is it something else?
No, so many complaints.
Oh,
Those businesses,
yeah. Okay.
the Ring Inflatable, all those businesses,
Right.
the farmer over there.
The farmer. We know about the farmer.
Okay, right? You know about the farmer
Yep.
because I lit him up.
I saw
Okay.
that. I saw that.
You don't do bad things.
Yeah, that's
I don't care who you are.
It's blocking the access.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Although he says it's his road and nobody's disagreeing with him, so I don't know what to say about it.
Right.
But me, that was my big thing, is you're blocking access road. I can't even do any work back here.
Right.
There was a bunch of trash back there to pick up, but I'm just sitting on it, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so you got 3 different properties. You got this one,
Mhm.
then you got the railroad tracks, and then you have the far one.
And the far one is.
The industrial park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But complaints from all these guys,
Yeah.
code
Okay.
enforcement,
Right.
it came down to the point where everybody said, we don't want this anymore. And
Okay.
then I had been doing work for him at Carlson Park and the marsh, and that went successfully. No police calls, no nothing like that. Cleaned everything up, and they'd said, hey, we have this other business that wants to work with you, and we have an area for you. And I came out here and go, oh, this is the biggest job I've ever taken on in my career. My career.
You mean this particular property?
This particular job.
Okay.
Inside Garberville, Redway.
Right.
Yeah, but that wasn't all in one location. Not
The locations was this bad. The one at the top of the hill. We had to go
about
up
90,000 pounds of trash.
when we didn't get it finished because we got pulled off the contract.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm from Redway, so I get
There
you.
was a pit right between Redway and Garberville,
Yeah.
and there's a
Yeah.
pit right there, a little hill.
Yep.
Camps up there.
Yep.
You go down that hill. Whoa!
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We actually went down there and cleaned it. We had a
That's-
winch up there
thank
pulling
you.
stuff up the side.
Because there keep being fires up there too. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I started a real good thing because everybody was worried about fires.
Yeah.
I made deals with the camps that we worked with, so I brought them a single propane stove,
Yeah.
so they wouldn't have to cook their food on open fire
Yeah.
because of fire danger. And then I gave them refillable propane. So when I went the next week, they gave me those refills. I filled them up and brought them back.
Nice.
There's ways of working with people.
Yeah. Okay.
Where are they going?
Well, at least it's in a 2-man group, so.
Yeah. I just, right now, I guess we're not the well-liked people that I thought we were out here. So, I just don't like, oh, they're following somebody. Oh, he's showing them. That's what he's doing. Our new people hadn't been back there yet.
Oh, okay.
So that's another project, the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
You know, so he's showing them the railroad tracks. So.
So if and when you ever get done with this section, right? Then which section do you tackle?
Here again, which one do I get crucified for? I could start, again, non-invasive area right there. No camps around it except for that guy back there, but he's a nice old guy. I could start here, but I can't do that. Can't start there. So eventually, maybe after getting done this, I have to call the property owner and go, hey, they don't want me to do anything more. I don't want to do that, but I will.
I mean, because on the one hand, it's a job for you. You want that income. Anybody would. But also, on the other hand, you want it because you feel like you're able to do a more comprehensive job than, say...
I think this is the area where we could actually create that staging area that I've been fighting for 20-something years.